What's up, guys? How the hell are y'all doing? I tried to stream Secret Show live tonight, but like many things, something went wrong. I was connected to the Wi-Fi there. The Wi-Fi at Sunset is historically terrible. And I don't know why I was connected to the Wi-Fi. I always turn it off when I go in there. But this time I did not. I got the ingredients that I was missing to make chicken bog here in a couple days. I needed some OxyClean. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and put this in the laundry room before I forget. But hopefully, the part that you guys got to see was cool. That was a really good crowd in there. These I put in a bag because one of these containers had something on it. Can't remember which one. This one. I got some pre-made HEB side things, because mainly for barbecue sandwiches, which is what I'm heating up barbecue sandwiches for my the meat for tonight. But I was like, I have the means to create some baked mac and cheese or shells and cheese, which I really, really like. Go ahead and put this crock pot back up here. I meant to get some butter. That's fine. I got at least a pound of butter here. I need that and that. This heavy cream will go good with the cheese sauce that I'm gonna make. You know what? I actually need to take a couple of things to my room. So let's go on a little trip here. And that will stay, right? Yeah. What's up there, guys? Jason, Jade, Jessica, all J names, that's right. That's cool. Speaking of J names, we almost had a really cool drop in at Secret Show. I didn't fold up my shirts last night. I got to separating them and I was like, these all look really wrinkled because I left them in the dryer for too long after they were dry, and they got wrinkled. And I usually turn them back on for a minute right before I go fold them, but I didn't, and I forgot. But I started doing them like early this morning, like 7 a.m. I started doing it, and did not go well. All right. So I'm gonna get the cheese sauce ready. I'm tweaking this recipe. Little by little. What's up, Justin? Did not miss the GB. I had to come in here and kick these shoes off. And drop my hoodie off. Good to see you, buddy. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. That's right, Justin. Justin's another J name. But yeah, Joe was might have been talking about coming over, but I don't know if it happened or not, because I kind of left. So maybe I'll use this one for the noodles. And I usually fill up the water that I'm going to boil out of the filter in the fridge. But I'm gonna be honest, it's not worth it. It's just simply not worth it. I got some baked potato salad. I got some barbecue beans. And I got some coleslaw. The potato salad was an impulse buy. But the baked beans and the coleslaw, that's just classic sides for a barbecue sandwich. That's plenty of water. Yeah, it's kind of pointless to use the filtered water when you're just going to be boiling the water anyway. So, you guys can see. Y'all know the drill, a little olive oil in there. Good bit of salt in there. And let that sucker boil. I'm gonna use this big spoon here. Wipe off whatever's in this thing here. A little napkin for the spoon. All right. So for the cheese sauce, I need to. Oh, I also got some relish because I was like, I'm not gonna this thing of slaw is good till January 15th. So I feel like I always do just ketchup and mustard hot dogs. But it'd be really cool to do like a actual chili dog with like all the way dog with slaw and relish and chili. South Carolina, that's called Carolina style. If you order in South Carolina, if you order a cheeseburger Carolina style, that means you're gonna get slaw and chili on your burger. Just chopping up this cheese. Make it easy easier to melt. I'm using all of it. And I have to be careful with the temperature on this, cause I don't want it to burn. And will this work the way that I want it to here? Honestly, it's kind of working. Don't worry about all that noise it's making over there. It's just picking. It don't mean it. So you hear how quiet it got when I called it out? Okay. Cheddar is now chopped, or the Velveeta is now chopped. Like, listen. It's all on the bottom. That water on top is cold, but that water on the bottom's hollering. All right. So on low medium heat, which is somewhere closer to 3 than 4, but between the two of them, I am starting with a little heavy cream in the bottom of the pot. And I'm not measuring it. I'm using, I think this is a 7-quart pot, maybe 5-quart. Doesn't say. Oh yeah, it does. What does that say? It doesn't matter. I'm putting enough to coat the bottom of this pot. You see the size of this pot? Just enough in there to cover the whole bottom. And then on top of that, I am going to go ahead and put this cheese in there. Hell yeah. Large bra. And I'm going to do my best to get all of these apart, but I don't want to touch them, but I don't want to touch them all. But I think that's the only way to really get them separated good. And these cubes are roughly this size. I'm gonna try something a little different with the topping this time. I usually just sprinkle some Ritz crackers across the top, but this time I'm going to either melt some butter to throw on top of it, drizzle that on top, or I'm going to chop up butter like I did this and just cube it up Everybody, all the purists will be like, oh no, why do you use Velveeta? Because Velveeta melts. Velveeta is a good cheese. It's a good cheese for what I need it for. The sponge doesn't have a smell yet, but I can tell by the looks of it that today will be its last day in duty, which I'm sure it is delighted to hear. And as always, number one tip to anyone that cooks: wash while you cook, clean while you cook. Make sure, get everything clean. And you won't have to do it later. All right, that salt has been is absorbed into the water. And I'm going to need a smaller spoon. This spoon here is actually good for this cheese. When it's time to start stirring. I am doing this on ultra low heat. Considering how I normally cook, that's on really low heat. Okay, salt. Honestly, now's a good time I can make a sandwich. I recorded a video, like a bunch of short snippet videos of me making a barbecue sandwich perfectly, but it didn't come out right. So I think I'm gonna do one with you guys that should come out better. So the way my sandwich starts is with 4 pieces of bread. I'm doing 2 sandwiches because I'm built like that. I have this fancy toaster set on 4, which is a little more than halfway. But now while we wait, we can go ahead and get some barbecue heated up. Sometimes I'll do that on stove top. This time, we're just going to use the microwave. This is the barbecue that we got. I'm going to show y'all this. I made a mess on my shirt. Now I smell like barbecue. Look at all that barbecue. Look at all that barbecue condensation that I got on my shirt. Luckily, it hadn't soaked in a lot yet. I should have known that would happen. All right. So for the barbecue, fork will do. I'm gonna get a big old scoop of BBQ here. And so I put a good bit of barbecue sauce in this when I made it. So realistically, it doesn't need any more, but I still put a little more in it when I make the sandwich because I just want to ramp up the flavor a bit. Oh man, this is a good piece right here. So here, I'll show you guys. This is the consistency that we ended up with. This is just regular old barbecued pulled pork. This is just the way it comes. Pulled pork isn't the finest of meats, but even cold, this came out as good as I could have expected it to. It's actually, now that I'm tasting it, better than I thought it was when I first tasted it. Okay, the cheese on the bottom is starting to melt a little bit. I'm giving this a healthy stir. Wow, this toaster scared the shit out of me, dude. While I'm sitting here doing this, wow. Wow. Help. Fucking help. Anyway, in the microwave, and oh, you know what? I'm going to use this plate anyway. So I'll just use this plate to put over top of it. Perfect. When you put something in the microwave to heat it up, don't put it in the middle, because then all that's gonna only microwaves work when things rotate and move. So like if you sit it in the middle, it's just really just kind of spinning and not really covering more of the surface inside. And the more surface that you cover inside, the better coverage you're gonna get on the heat. My sweet relish down there. This potato salad up too. Alright. Gotta keep this cheese stirring because I don't want it to burn to the bottom of the pan. Fork. Hell yeah, when it's hot, it looks more like the barbecue that you find at like a buffet. Like an old Southern country buffet. Y'all guys know about that. A little more heat. One more minute. I got some sharp cheddar and I got some mild cheddar. Sharp cheddar and mild cheddar are going to go in there. Velveeta. butter, decent amount of butter. All right, now the way this is steaming, that's what we're looking for. Let's see what this is about. Baked potato salad. Immediately, heavy sour cream. This cheese isn't hot enough to melt off of this spoon when I stir it yet. So I just have to obnoxiously knock. That's enough. Fuck it. Anyway. Too much sour cream. Like, not the kind you want. Okay. Okay. I can feel the film on the bottom of this pot start to form. So I think I'm going to pull the heat even down a little bit more. Water here. Appears to be boiling. Two packages of small shells. I'll go ahead and put these in there. Well, thought I was. Is this going to explode all over the place? No. I got it. Oh, did I put too much water in here? For this amount of noodles? Let me see. Close. And that might be too much. That might be too much water, honestly. Because I think if I stir it, something's gonna come out. That's a lot of noodles. Yeah, some water's coming out when I stir it. So when it boils, let me cool it down some. Use some more heavy cream to cool it down a bit. Honestly, there's not much left in here. I'm going to use the rest of it. Get that cream, heavy cream down to the bottom. Now that cream's incorporated in here, I can feel some of the gunky stuff on the bottom, but that's fine. Let's have some sharp cheddar with it. Give it a little bit more of a bite. Just about that much. So here's what we're working with here. We'll stir the sharp cheddar in with the velve. I don't care about there being a little cheese on this spoon, because cheese is going to be going on these noodles anyhow. On low, 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 low. Bubbling. Hopefully it doesn't bubble over. It probably bit more. Doing a good job liking the video, guys. So when I do the sandwiches, this toast, you can hear how toasty it is. Let's hope nothing bubbles over there right now when I'm doing this part, because this isn't the part that I want interrupted. I'm just putting nice little barbecue coverage here on the whole piece of bread. Same thing here. It's about the same amount of BBQ on both sandwiches. Just stirring my nudes. Stirring my cheese. That's a trick. The spoon I stir the boiling water with, cheese comes off of that easily because it's hot. All right, so then I'm gonna get some of this coleslaw here. Actually, before, yep. Now, on this particular type of sandwich, you hit it with a little Texas Pete on top. And I'm gonna let that be my sandwich right there. I ain't even gonna put no more barbecue sauce on it. That's a sandwich. Yep. Barbecue, hot sauce, and slaw. Ain't got time to be fooling around with it, damn. This probably needs to go over here somewhere. Might spray some of this on top too. It's very close to being ready. To drain. We'll get a noodle out of here and see what it's about. Hot, that's what it's about. I didn't know it was full of water. Honestly, they're good. Now they're good. This fella, you can go there. Okay, this pot's not that hot. For now, here's how we're gonna do this. We're draining noodles. Shake that around because water hides in these little pockets. That's not the worst thing, but then we're going straight into this pan right here. Straight into that pan. And then we're gonna come over here. With our cheese spoon, we're gonna just pour all this sauce here on top. Now, we'll stir it away from the sides. cheese sauce incorporated. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I want to get the cheese sauce from hiding on the edges and get it more towards the middle, because I'm also going to put some more shredded cheese in here. Take a little sharp. A little sharp. That wasn't directed at any of y'all. And a little mild. Black pepper it up. Gotta have a little black pepper in your mac and cheese. I like the little contrast of color in it, personally. Now, y'all remember, I put a good deal of salt in the water that we boiled the noodles in. So I'm not gonna go too crazy with the salt. Hit it with a little of that garlic powder and a little onion powder. I should have done this before I mixed it all together, because now I have the urge to mix everything in, because the only thing that's going to be seasoned is the top now. I'm actually just going to do that. Fuck it. Will it hurt? I ain't even got the oven preheated yet. You know what? Because this is so much, I'm gonna do another little layer of mild. I'm gonna do another little layer of mild cheddar before I put the Ritz crackers on here, because this is a lot. Honestly, just get around the edges here and that'll be good. By the way, we're not making macaroni and health, we're making macaroni and cheese. All right, now let me get first off, bro. I'm guessing 400 degrees. Or is that too much? What do you guys think? What temp should I put this on in the oven? This is my phone right now, so I can't consult the internet. My guess would be around 400 degrees for about 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. Or it'll probably say something like 350 or 375 for 15 to 20 minutes. It already smells very good. The Ritz crackers ended up being one of my favorite parts of this thing. So I'm kind of going ham on the Ritz crackers this time. And I'm gonna spray them with a little of that butter cooking spray, butter flavored cooking spray. This is the fun part. Squishing up all these Ritz crackers here. I always get the little halfers too, instead of the full thing, because like I know I'm gonna use this whole thing here. But if I squashed up a whole, you know, it's easier to do them in the pack. You know what? Since I'm going crazy with the cheese whiz, I only got a little bit of sharp cheddar left. I'm gonna top this with some sharp cheddar too. Just whatever I got left here. A little bit of that butter flavored cooking spray on top. It's at 230 right now on the preheat. One more sandwich bite. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and retire this sponge now. Because if I don't, then it'll just be too late. The sweetness of that coleslaw is nice. With the spice of the hot sauce. Those toppings also are traditionally for like vinegar based. And I did put some vinegar in that, but not near enough to consider it a vinegar-based sauce. It's definitely a sweet sauce, more like a Memphis style. Uh-oh. How y'all doing over there? What's up, Rhino? How y'all living? Everybody doing all right? Happy Friday. End of my vacation. Go back to the grind tomorrow. Picked up a shift on Sunday since I'm taking Tuesday off to go to kill Tony. might sign up. I might sign up for New Year's Eve. That'd probably be a pretty cool one to get picked on. If I were to get pulled, that'd be a cool one to do it, I believe, on. There we go. Perfect. Oh, the old cheese pot. You know what we're doing with the old cheese pot, right? I'm gonna open up a thing of these Ritz crackers. And I'm not letting my favorite part of cheese go to waste, which is that stuff that burns on the bottom. Oh, I love it. Check that out. All that burn-on cheese at the bottom. Mmm. The oven is preheated. $12:18. I need an alarm. Maybe we'll just play it by ear. Oh yeah, big cheese. Boil some of this water. Boil some water in this pan. Get that shit super hot. 12, 18. What do you guys think? Probably, I would say 400 degrees at about maybe like 15 minutes tops, maybe. Does that sound about right to you guys? About 15 minutes at 400. Somebody chat GPT that for me, or Grok search that for me. Nah. Bam. Or did somebody already say it and I missed it? That's possible. 400, yes, 20 minutes, cool. Water's getting the cheese off the bottom of that pan good. Can feel it separating. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh shit, you know what? I didn't put a single bit of butter in that thing. I plan to do it. Shit, all I put in there was that butter cooking spray. I just saw the butter I pulled out to use. I didn't use a drop of butter in that thing. Damn. It's too late now. I was gonna mix some of the butter in with it. Damn, that sucks. Oh well, hopefully it'll still be tasty. I'm sure it will be. Uh-huh. What can you do? I'm sure it'll be fine. I ordered a wall mount for that TV that Mumford found and brought home. So I'm very soon to have true dual monitors. See how much water that, or how much cheese that water took out of it? And now I can get away with just spraying it with cold. I'll leave it hot for a second. To melt off all of the stuck on cheesy cheese. The spoon's doing all the work. I don't even have to get the steel wool that dirty. Still gonna have to use it. But it took pretty much no effort, which is nice. Alright. It's been 12 minutes. At 15 minutes, I'm going to check it. I feel like the fact that the last time I made it, I didn't add any kind of like seasonings like I did this time, like the Holy Trinity, salt, pepper. I didn't even put any more salt in it. I just put pepper, garlic, onion powder because I salted the noodles very, very well. Therefore, I didn't go through the trouble to resalt it. And I don't think that's going to be a bad thing because there's also a good bit of cheese in there, and that cheese is pretty salty. So that might end up being the better move. After all is said and done. Stove a good wipe down. It's not very dirty today. I would expect one night this weekend that we will be doing chicken bog. I'll probably do that on Monday, maybe Sunday night. I'm working Sunday. Shit. Yeah. That's been 15 minutes. Give it another 5. Hell yeah. There's something that I personally love, like a lot. One of my most favorite feelings, in fact, is after you get done cooking and you look around and you see, man, this is a mess. This is such a huge mess that I'm gonna have to clean up this mess. And it sucks because it's a mess and I don't want to clean up this mess. And then when you kind of like stop whining mentally and just do it, it's all done. I love looking at a clean workspace after it was filthy. It's so good. I absolutely love that. I've got 3 minutes before I pull that out. I got stuff here to pull it out with. But I'm not going to stand here and hold them for 3 minutes. I have a cup of ice because in my room there's a 2-liter of wild cherry Pepsi. And I want some of that. Actually haven't had any liquids. My water jug's been over here the whole time. I'm going to turn the broil on for just a second, just to finish it off for this last minute or so. Because it's 37 right now. When it flips 38, I'm going to kill the heat on the stove. For this last minute, I want to hit that top pretty hard. Or however long it takes me to wash this bowl. That heat coming out was aggressive. Yes. Okay. Now for color-wise, this is the closest that I've gotten to what I really wanted to do. You guys see the color in there? Bubbling through on the edges. That's exactly how I wanted it to go. Turn that around. That's what we were looking for right there. You see the color around the edges and the cheese is melted. It's crispy on top. And feel how crispy it is up there. So yes, as far as color-wise, that's exactly what we wanted. So now what we can do is, I'll put these away because that's going to stay out for long enough to touch with your hands. And I'm going to let it sit for a minute before we taste it. While we're doing that, let's here, I'll leave this guy in here for now. Leave this fella in here for now. We'll come back into the lab and give that a rest out there for a minute. That wasn't directed at any of you. So far today, we have eaten 2 barbecue sandwiches, a little bit of excess barbecue that we heated up. Oh, did y'all hear that? That was a loud one. That one didn't pop. I've been being bad lately. I got a little collection of 2-liter bottles that I can't even use for GBs down here. because they're oddly shaped. Ugh. I wear the hat for football, and it's a good luck. It's a superstitious thing. Like, oh, if I don't wear the hat for a day, Alabama's gonna lose, and it's gonna be my fault. But I've been wearing that shit every day this football season, and did not go well. So it might be time to go back to the top knot for a little bit. Me and this wild cherry Pepsi have an interesting relationship here. I purchased this wild cherry Pepsi. This was the thing that I went to the store to get. I went to get a wild cherry Pepsi. And I got that, but I also got a Sprite, which I saw the Sprite and I was like, man, I haven't had a Sprite in a while. I think I could go for a Sprite. So I drank the Sprite, and this was probably 5 days ago. Drank the Sprite, and then the next day I went to the store for something, and I was like, man, that Sprite was good. I think I'd like another Sprite. So I got another Sprite and drank that, or half of that, and then drank the second half the night after. And yesterday I went to the store to get a loaf of bread to make barbecue sandwiches with, and pickles. I forgot the pickles. You gotta put pickles on the sandwich. I forgot the pickles. I have pickles. That's what I went to the store to get, bread and pickles. But I also got a pineapple flavored Fanta, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with, one of the greatest soft drink flavors of all time. The pineapple Fanta is the pineapple Fanta's up there as far as things being good. So I got me a little pineapple Fanta, and I drank that. And man, let me tell you, those pineapple Fantas don't mess around. They're delicious. But the point I was getting at was that me and this wild cherry Pepsi, the Pepsi is the thing that I went to the store for. And Kingdom Within gets it. It's what I went there for. And I've had it sitting here just being like, you are my prize at the end. You're my prize at the very end. I went to HEB today and I thought, man, I could really go for another pineapple Fanta. But then I thought, but I've got that wild cherry Pepsi that's just been sitting there waiting for me to, waiting for me to pour it over a nice cool glass of ice, and it's just waiting there, all patient like, just waiting there, all chilling, right there next to my massage gun, sitting on the floor. I like a room temperature soda going into a cold glass of ice. That's how I like it. I like for the soda to be room temperature until it reaches the ice. That's what I like. And pineapple Fanta on the rocks. That's how I drink all my drinks, on the rocks. Unless there's the rare occasion where someone has a 12 pack or several, like a large case of something in the refrigerator and say, hey, have one of these, and of course I'll drink it straight out the can. But I prefer to have a glass with ice in it. Wild cherry Pepsi, man. No straw gang. You gotta drink it out the glass. Fanta in general is good. I believe that like the out of all the flavored beverages, you're not gonna top a classic Sunkist. I believe a classic Sunkist out of the glass bottle and a classic grape knee high or something like that is very good. But as far as all flavors combined, Fanta probably takes the cake. And honestly, there's also pineapple Sunkist. Pineapple Sunkist is very good. Sunkist is actually nice. They have a grape Sunkist. They have all the different flavors of Sunkist, and they're very good too. But Fanta, man, Fanta's just been around for so long, and I guess Sunkist has as well. But Fanta has been like Sunkist was always just orange. Fanta's always done like all different flavors. That's how you do it right there. Fanta is just orange. Wow. Capitalism. Capitalism. What a trip. My sister, by the way, got me some Munson's chocolates hand-picked just for me. They were hand-picked just for me. They got my name on them. You see? They got my name on them. Did you guys know this was my name? Did you guys know this was my name? Did any of y'all not know my real name, by the way? Is that a thing? Did any of y'all not know my real name? Because that's a thing. I know we have folks in here that just know me as Yonder. But for 34 years before I started hanging out in Discords and hanging out with Red Band and VR, I was Kelsey. And everybody calls me Yonder now. And now I just so much so that I introduced myself as it. It was because in the beginning I was like, I just pooted. In the beginning I was like, hey, my name's Kelsey. And they're like, Kelsey? And I was like, yeah, everybody calls me Yonder. And then they're like, oh, Yonder. Yonder, that's right. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll just cut the middleman out and just be like, hey, my name's Yonder. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know you. Yonder's more popular than Kelsey, which is crazy. Not in Myrtle Beach. In Myrtle Beach, Kelsey's way more popular than Yonder. But worldwide, come on. Jay, does OZ stand for Old Zealand? Aussie. Oz. Dawizad. That's my name on Reddit. Dawizad. Dawizad. Aussies, that's right. Aussie man. Australia. Straya. There was this little group that I used to be in that would post videos, and some of the craziest videos would come out of Australia of just people like fighting animals and stuff like that in the wild because there's so many crazy wild animals and shit. And yeah, that's right. The land of Oz. And anytime that they would post a video like that and somebody would be like, Straya, Straya. Straya. Oh, man. I hope that the part of the secret show you guys got to see was cool. I hate that the one time I decided to go live, it cut out. But what can you do? The Wi-Fi at Sunset is very shoddy, and I was still connected to it, and I shouldn't have been. I wanted to be on data, and I remembered thinking about that before I went live. I need to turn off the Wi-Fi, but I went live and I was running out of time because I realized there was a big crowd there already. In fact, I want to look at that real quick and see what came of it. Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Oh, hi. Oh, holy shit, guys. Hey, this is your Christmas gift, fuckos.
Hey, fuckos.
Welcome
My buddy
to you.
Ray says that.
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put you guys on the thing where I record this from. So if anything goes wrong, I'm blaming you. Okay, hold on. It's starting to fill up a little bit. You guys want to see it? Get this thing set up for you guys.
It was already clipping out there.
This is only happening once because it's your Christmas gift. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel.
This is exactly why I didn't want to go live. Was because I felt like I would lose part of it. Oh, man. Oh, Christina. See how far along I was when it cut out. Oh, shit. Not that song. Shit. Oh, well. Sorry. That secret show is going to be a flub. I did get the audio in full. So I could probably edit in the rest of just audio. Anyway. Was it any different, by the way? Was watching it live any different? Was seeing it live any different? I know that when I record and release, the quality is so much better, for sure. It has to be. And I'm glad that it feels real. But I also want the quality to be there. And plus, I don't know. I kind of wanted to start it in the green room because I told Red Band, I was like, dude, I didn't feel like doing an edit this week. So I was like, since it's Christmas, give you guys a little gift of just live streaming the thing. And I went live and he was there. So I like the thought of like starting it in the green room and being like, hey guys, here, look at everybody. Say hey. Say hey to the YouTube. Tell them to subscribe to me for the love of Pete. Tonight was like a different crew working. There's a lot of people that are out of town. So usually I'll sometimes go around and like do close-ups of people working or something. But like people are being sat. Everybody's taking orders. All the bartenders are banging out drinks. It's a very hectic portion of the night before the show starts because really they're just trying to get orders taken and get everybody sat and get everybody comfortable and get the first round of drinks out to the entire room first. And once that's done, it can calm down a little bit but when everybody shows up at one time and then everybody orders drinks all at once, I don't know if you ever worked a service industry job or anything like that, but that can kind of bog the bar down and the servers. And that's what makes the club the most amount of money is drinks. So it's important for them to get that done. But if you guys like the walkout, I might start filming the walkout. And honestly, that might not be a bad thing to like film the walkout and do the credits for like Patreon and YouTube members there at the beginning to do the credits. And that way at the end, it'll just like fade out. But I don't know. Maybe not. What's up, Emo? Tuna sandwich ain't bad. I'm not a huge tuna guy. But done right, a good tuna sandwich is nice. Or a good tuna salad, rather. Is what I'm thinking about. Got it. There was something in my teeth. Something in my teeth. That's what it is, Emo. That's what it is. Canned pussy. You gotta be careful. You eat too much canned pussy, you get sick. You'll get that salmonella. Watch out. Give it that salmonella. Yeah, let's have a little word from the sponsors. Why not? I took that food out of the oven 23 minutes ago. Oh, pussy in a can. I'm leaning towards probably, but I haven't fully decided whether or not Are you not on both, Jason? Do I not got you on both? I thought I had you on both of them. Hold on. Because that's a huge miss if not. Because you're one of the OG members. I thought I had. Oh, I've got you on there as Jason WHY. Y37. Yep. Got it. Hell yeah, dude, you're in there. Got it edited. I have a note in my notes app where I have all the names there, so I just have to copy and paste every week. I gotta wash my hair. I can feel it getting greasy. I need some more conditioner. I need to order more conditioner because the conditioner that I use, I ran out of it, and they don't make it anymore. I used to use Beauty Counter. Beauty Counter. It's very, very good conditioner. Orange peel conditioner, grapefruit conditioner. Used to be orange peel, but now it's grapefruit. Yeah, I suppose we'll do some Witcher tonight. I'm kind of feeling like Gwent. I haven't had a nice little Gwent round, and I think that kind of takes me out of it because I love playing the card game so much that when I don't play it, it kind of not crazy about it. Like not that's not I'm not crazy about it. It's just that Gwent is so much fun that when I omit that portion of the game, it's like, why am I not doing kind of the best part of this game? Why am I not doing that? Oh, I was supposed to fucking plug this thing in, and I didn't because the battery was low whenever I started streaming. 12%. Just in the nick of time, and then I got to plug it in as soon as we get back out there because it's 05, so in about 3 minutes it will have been out of the oven for a half hour. I think a half hour is ample time for it to have cooled off enough to enjoy. Holler. All right. I can't forget to plug this in when I get over here. And I have to keep talking about it until I get over here so that I don't forget when I get over here that this thing needs to be plugged in immediately. There we go. 13%. Okay. That's what we're working with. And you know what? This is a big old spoon right here. I'm just gonna take this corner out. Oh, do y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that crunch when I was like, listen to that? Let's see. So, with all the seasonings, it's still very hot. With all the seasonings, it's pretty good, but I can really taste the absence of butter. The absence of butter is deafening. I feel like one day I'm going to make this dish and I'm not going to forget anything. Hell yeah, Kingdom. You stream it or you just play it? I can also taste the absence of salt after the fact. And if I'm being honest, which I always am, even though I got the crust right, this is the worst one that I've made. I hear you, Kingdom. I embarrass myself every day. Definitely needs salt. What I should have done is I should have buttered. I should have put maybe half a stick of butter in with the noodles before I seasoned the noodles. I should have salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder. And I should have mixed all that together, melted the butter into the noodles, and maybe put a little oil in there too to keep them from sticking together. Then added the cheese sauce. I did it backwards. I added the cheese sauce first. Rhino, you ready to catch a few winks under the bed? You better head back. Hell yeah. I don't know anything about Warzone, but I hear a lot of people play it. I almost did some Grateful Dead tonight, but it wasn't the vibe. Oh yeah, dude. The Dead is great for that. The best part about The Dead is you can listen to the Grateful Dead every day, and there's so much live recording of them out there that you could listen to a different show every day for years, and they played for so long that I'm not joking, they probably have over 20 years of recordings. Like they probably have, for the amount of time, as often as they played, they probably have 20 years worth of recordings. And I don't mean like the length. I mean like for every day you can listen to a different live show. And they probably have 20 years worth of just live sets from like from like the 60s all the way to 95. There's a lot of good ones in like 72, 73. They were cooking back then. '77's a good year. I'm trying to think of what exactly it is that I don't like about this. Like the no salt, no butter thing. The fact that there is no butter is a travesty. Yeah, I think I cheese the hell out of this. The amount of cheese is nice. But the lack of salt, the lack of butter, the order in which I put things together, it was all wrong. It was wrong from the get go. Like, from the get go, I didn't use a big enough pot. for the amount of noodles I was cooking. I should use real butter in the pan. Not that spray shit. And I should definitely just chop up some butter and like dice up some butter and sprinkle like little butter chunks all over the top with the Ritz crackers. But I'm going to be honest, most of that's going to end up in the trash because it's not going to get eaten. It's not that great. See, I have no reason to lie to you if something that I cook is not good. I would consider that not good. Is it fine? Barely. It's barely fine. No, I don't think so because it's not. It's not like a wet ingredient that it's missing. It's literally missing salt. Maybe salting it a little bit per serving would make a big difference, and I could stomach more of it. But usually, I would. Usually, I would be rushing back to enjoy more of this, another bowl full. But instead, I'm like, oh, let me take this last bite of this so it will be gone and I won't have to eat any more of it right now because I made it. I'm going to eat it. And honestly, this is like the third or fourth time I've made this dish. And I'm making it a point to have the Thanksgiving dinner down by the time Thanksgiving rolls around next year. I want to be able to do a solid Thanksgiving meal. I gotta get this mac and cheese down first. Once I get the mac and cheese down to where every time I make it, it'll turn out good. Some parm would be good. I don't have any. Parm's a nice salty cheese that would solve some issues, but the first thing that I thought is, I think the most accurate thought I've had was, wow, I can really taste the butter's not here. I really miss the butter. That was my initial thought. Yeah, that was my initial thought, and I still stand by that. Like, it really needs butter, man. Really needs butter. I cook with a lot of butter, so I can really taste its absence here. That's right, we don't miss butter cheeks. you got to put butter in something. If you want it to taste good, you got to put butter in it. See, I'm not big on uh I'm not big on a cheese like that. Like that reminds me too much of like a wet cheese, and I do not like. No, I do not like wet cheese like that. I don't even like mozzarella if it's still wet. I'm just not crazy about it at all. Um, yeah, I used a little sharp cheddar, but to be honest, I don't taste it. I used a whole bag of sharp cheddar actually. A whole bag of sharp cheddar and then a good bit of mild cheddar as well. Um, but I don't know how. I remembered when the mac and cheese got made around my house. I remember Velveeta was part of it. And I remembered my grandmother adding, I remember her doing Velveeta and or some sort of block cheese, which it was Velveeta for sure, like or some sort of variation of Velveeta. But she would use that, and she would use regular cheese. But I don't remember how she did it. I don't remember what the process was. I'm sure she did the noodles and then did similar to what I do. But I really got to remember next time to take the butter and have the butter softening up on the counter for a little while and at least put half a stick in the noodles whenever. You know what wouldn't be a bad idea is to do half a stick in the noodles until it melts all the way down. Like just stir in half a stick of butter into all of those noodles before you add anything. And then season it all. And then I use garlic powder. But yeah, I used garlic powder and I should have added more salt. But I was like, man, I put a lot of salt in the water, so I don't want to over salt. Yeah, like grate it almost. I've seen people do that. I've seen people put butter in the freezer and then use it like a cheese grater, like use a cheese grater with it on frozen butter. But yeah, that just scraping it off with the strainer or like a yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I think it might not be a bad idea to just like chop up a half a stick of butter into little squares and just drop those little squares all throughout the top once I get that layer of Ritz crackers going. I get ashamed. Like, luckily, this is a very inexpensive thing to make. I got like the noodles are $2 or $1 a pack. The Velveeta is like the most expensive part of it because that's like I don't know four or $5 a block, and then whatever the Ritz crackers like that's only like $3 a box or something like that. So it's very inexpensive to make. So for something to have been a mistake, I'm glad it was something that isn't very pricey. And plus, it's a side item. It's not like I have to rely on, oh, I need to eat this for the next few days for sustenance. I've already got a lot of barbecue left. The barbecue came out a lot better than it could have. But yeah, just yeah, the barbecue came out nice. I actually like that. Oh my gosh. Let me that guy goes in there. Bam. Boop. And I'm going to put the rest in this little jar. Ari Maddie has a friend, Xander, from Estonia, and it's so funny. Like he's very good. He's very funny. They both have like this sing-songy delivery, and the way that they talk is very similar, and the way they enunciate words is very similar. It's a very funny. It's a funny accent. It's a funny cadence that comes along with it. But I was talking to him tonight about cooking. He knows his way around a kitchen the way I hear it. But they cook like Estonian meals, like this pork liver. It's almost like a foie gras type thing that he was talking about. And I'm not really on board with any of that stuff, but like I would try that because he talks about cooking it so long that cooking things so long to where it gets rid of like the aggressive flavor of things, which I appreciate. Low and slow. He was like, he cooked this thing for like 4 hours, so it's like, dude, that would be incredible. Funny guy, Xander. Xander, I think. Or is it S? I think it's X. McDonald's uses lard on the fries still? Hell yeah. This is called Skittles and CCG. Skittles plus CCG. I don't know if it's two different types or if it's a hybrid. I don't know what CCG stands for. I like the Five Guys fries. Five Guys fries, hell yeah, Rhino. Five Guys fries kind of rules. Oh, I have my old roommate Charlie. My old roommate Charlie's birthday is on the January the 2nd. It was almost a New Year's baby. The best part about Five Guys fries is they fresh chop them right there. They use actual whole potatoes right there and fresh chop them suckers. Rhino, you're right. For the money, bless America, that is delicious. Oh, wow. When you've been smoking a certain quality of green tea for a few days, and then you finally get a little nice green tea, man, the difference that makes. Wow. Yeah, dude, cookout for back home, ironically enough, there's a cookout directly across the street from a Five Guys. And I went to the cookout 90 times out of 100, for sure. But every now and again, I would really, and this Five Guys that's across from the cookout has a drive-through. Five Guys rarely have drive-throughs. I or Five Guys rarely have drive-throughs. So having a Five Guys with a drive-through is sort of a treat. And I would go hit that sucker up, man. I would order on the app at my house, and like I would press order as I was locking my door and get in my car, and by the time I got to Five Guys, my order would be it would say your order is ready, come pick it up. As I'm pulling in, it was always perfect. But yeah, you know what, Rhino? That's a funny thing you bring up. The peanut shells thing. I have never been one to throw the peanut shells on the floor. You know those like old Texas Roadhouse thing where you throw the peanuts on the floor? Like that's a thing that I hope dies out. I don't like that. I don't like, and I know that it's supposedly the norm. That's what people do, but it does seem rude. I don't like that. Yeah, I remember as a kid, went to one of those restaurants where you throw the peanut shells on the ground, and everybody around me was doing it. And there was this. I was young. I was probably, I don't know, 13 or 14. I was probably like 14, maybe right before I got my license, because I remember that I wanted to drive so bad, but they wouldn't let me because I could drive back home. Like I'm from one of those towns to where like a kid can drive around, before they get their license because there's not a lot of stuff going on, and like I'd already had some. That's just the kind of place I'm from. That if I need to get somewhere, I'm going to drive to get there, whether I had my license or not. As a young guy, I had a car when I was 14. I got my first car when I was 14, and I didn't get my license till I was 15. But I had a little Nissan Maxima that I was permitted to drive a certain distance away from the house. Like I could go, like they would let me drive pretty much to the end of the road and around our little block that we had around. Like it's a huge block because it's in the country, but it would let me drive around that. But I used to go to the store and stuff, and I was always a pretty decent driver. But I wanted to drive and they wouldn't let me. Beside the point, we were at one of these places, and I just remember not throwing the things on the floor, and then they were asking me like, why are you putting those holes on that plate? You can throw them in the floor. And I was like, but then all of these girls, like our waitress is gonna have to sweep this up at the end of the night. And then I remember my stepdad making fun of me because he was like, oh, he's sweet on the waitress. You like that girl, huh? You like that one? You sweet on her?" And he was like making fun of me. Like I don't know why you would make fun of of somebody for that, but yeah, I was like, uh, I don't know. They kind of like. I was like, no, and they're like, what? You don't like girls? What do you mean? You don't think she's pretty? And then I was like, well, yeah. I mean, and then they're like, oh, I see. You think she's pretty, you know? And it was just, you know how that goes, especially where they were. And I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed and she came back to the table. And then, like, of course, my stepdad, who wanted to embarrass me, told her, "Oh, hey, that one right there is sweet on you a little bit." He says he's not gonna throw the peanuts on the ground because he's not gonna throw the peanuts on the ground because you have to clean them up, and he was just laying it on thick, like, "Oh, he can't stop talking about you. He's all sweet on you," and I'm just like turning red. I'm embarrassed, and I remember this waitress came over and gave me a big kiss on the cheek and said I was sweet. And like I just remember that moment. And like just out of that, from that one moment, like ever since then, I'm like, you know what? I'm never gonna throw this. Uh, I'm never gonna throw anything on the ground at any of these places. So anytime I went to Five Guys, I always get two little trays, one for the trash, the other one for not. That was in, I believe, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And I don't even remember what this girl looked like. But but yeah, that was a sweet moment. And I was just embarrassed. And they all thought it was funny and they were laughing. And I remember like they bullied me actually. Like they bullied me a lot. And I love my stepdad. He was a good dude. It took a while. Like I didn't always love my stepmom. Anytime someone steps into your life that isn't your mom or your dad, you're gonna have animosity with them. But my stepmom rules. She's the best. Like just best in the idea of what a mother should be. She is. She's great. And my stepdad, he was hard on me, but it was kind of like some of it was too much. But that's just how he was raised. And but some of it, like I remember just thinking like this is unnecessary. Like that moment, like right when it was like, hey, you're embarrassing me. Please don't draw attention to please don't draw attention to us or to me. And then the one thing that you hate, and then there's this cute waitress or whatever, and then everybody at your table starts making fun of you because you think a girl is cute. Like what are you trying to do? You don't want me to think a girl's cute? Is that not is that not something that seems like all the southern folk seems like all the southern folk they usually don't they usually like it when you think a girl's cute. And they don't like the other way. But she was sweet. She played it nice. She could see I was embarrassed, and she kind of like, oh, y'all leave him alone, and just a little peck on the cheek. It was a sweet moment. It was a sweet moment from a waitress at probably a Texas Roadhouse in, I believe, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, maybe Maggie Valley, North Carolina. We did a big trip that one year where we stayed a night in Cherokee, a couple nights in Maggie Valley, a night or two in Pigeon Forge. It was a Rhino. How dare you? She was a sweet lady, and I didn't throw no shells on the floor cause of her. She was a sweetheart. Oh, it's 1:45. I need to start getting these clothes ready if we're gonna play games. I gotta throw that. Or, they're clean. I don't really need to wear a white t-shirt at least until Tuesday. So I could just leave it like it is and throw it in the dryer later. Because I'm wearing white shirts, but they're always tucked in, so it's not going to matter whether or not it's wrinkled. I think that's what I'll do. The rare leave it in the basket. If you kind of wonder, how have any of y'all ever seen me leave clothes in a basket for longer than the instant that it comes out? That's right, Jason. Kingdom, I am from Bennettsville, South Carolina, but currently live in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas. Yeah, I never leave clothes in the basket, man. But see, do you guys see now why I'm so quick about doing things? Because if I don't do it, it'll just sit there and I'll make excuses like I have right now. And honestly, they're pretty good excuses. They check out. I really don't need to wear a white t-shirt. I had one here that was already, I had one left that was hanging up in my closet, and this was it. So I could take one off of that stack over there. Yeah, I could do that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I could throw them in the dryer on Monday. Because I need to do laundry anyway on Monday. Honestly, I need to do laundry tomorrow. So maybe I'll just do that tomorrow then. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude. You gonna get lit at the tech party? I went to tech. I went to Old Reed Georgetown Tech. Old Reed Georgetown Technical College. Texas food is very good. Texas food is very smoke oriented. There's a lot of like smoke and spice. And I don't mean like seasoning. I mean like heat spice, like pepper spice. It's very good. I like the brisket. Brisket's big out here. Queso. I really like queso. And that's a Tex-Mex thing. They don't really do a lot of queso on traditional Mexican food, from what I gather. Yeah, the barbecue beef rib is, dude. One of my buddies runs Terry Black's barbecue here, and dude, Terry Black's is like it's pretty much across the board. Everyone agrees Terry Black's is the best. All the other barbecue places, some people say Franklin's, some people say Interstellar. These places have delicious barbecue. But the name that gets brought up the most is always Terry Black's. But Terry Black's is so good. They have incredible beef ribs, like the dinosaur rib, dude. Like a rib is this big, and honestly, a rib is almost the size of my water jug. Like, I'm not even joking. It's like a rib this size. A single rib with a giant bone handle. Dude, they're so good, man. The beef rib, the brisket, the sausage, the beans, the potato salad, the mac and cheese. The sausage is generally one of my favorite things, and it's always the cheapest thing to get. It does cost you an arm and a leg, but I know a guy. That green tea's so good there. I don't mean to kill you right now. How about this? What do you guys say we take a brief intermission? I need to go. I need to go wash this bowl. Wrap that travesty of a dish that I made in aluminum foil and let it sit in the refrigerator until no one eats it, and I throw it away in 4 to 5 days. I haven't had blacks yet, but there is a place called Snow's Barbecue that my friend Yoni swears by. And there is a lady there, I think Toots is her name. An old lady who's been cooking barbecue at this place for 1,000 years or something. Snow's Barbecue, and I think that's in Seguin. Where is Snow's Barbecue? Lexington, Texas. And let's see, I go to that website. Yeah, you can't. This lady right here. That lady right there has been cooking barbecue at Snow's for I don't know how long. I forgot to plug the phone back in. We were at 3%. We almost lost it. Yeah, what's her name? Carrie Bexley, owner of Snow's Barbecue, knew there was a demand for good barbecue in the small town of Lexington. With a population of only 1,100 people, Lexington has always been known for its Saturday barbecue. It's just a tradition. That's right. Carrie and Miss Tootsie Timanitz, she's the pit boss, Tootsie, discussed the possibilities in the late 90s of opening a barbecue joint, but took no action until several years later. In November '02, Carrie stopped to visit with Miss Tootsie, kicked the ashes around, and discussed again opening the joint. She told Carrie that if he was serious, they better sit down and have a real heart-to-heart. They did just that, and they started building the pits. So 2002, she's been doing that place. She's obviously been cooking for longer than that. But it snows. Yoni likes to go there. He invited me one time, and I feel like sometimes somebody invites you to do something, and you fuck up because you don't do it, and then Yoni was like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow morning? Can you get up early?" And I'm like, "How early?" And he's like, "Can you meet me in my house at like, I don't know, something crazy like 9 o'clock or something?" And I was like, "Buddy, I don't think I can." And I was being honest, like, I don't think I can get up that early, man. And I probably could have, but I should have because he was going to take me to Snow's. And I've done that twice. Tony invited me to yoga one morning, hot yoga, and I was like, bro, y'all just going to invite me so y'all can laugh. And I know what you're trying to do. I bet y'all gonna put me up front so that everybody see what I'm doing. And y'all gonna laugh at me. And I didn't, and he never invited me to nothing again. It's rare you get a phone call and I'm like, look at the name and see that it's him. If you want to get your day started off right, meet me at this place at this hour. And I'm like, buddy, I will not be out of bed by then. Okay. You live, you learn. All right. It's 5 minutes to 2. Let's take a little intermission, and I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll play some games. Yeah. All right. BRB and Roll Tide. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.